ran for another 3, and it was a clinic tonight when you speak about those Tigers offensively.
Yeah, it really was. These stats are just over the top impressive. It's despite the 2 kick returns. Let's eliminate the 2 kick returns. This could arguably be the best performance all year, hands down. With those type of numbers,
they outgained the Pirates 556 to 245 on the offensive side. They won the 3rd down battle. They won the 1st down battle as well, picking up 28 first downs to Ventura's 16. They ran the ball, did the Tigers. This is a laugher. They outgained the Tigers 297 to 22 rushing yards per game. You take a look at the numbers here, Dan. The Tigers run the football for 5 yards a carry. Ventura 1. Obviously, offensively, heavily in favor of them. But how about the turnover battle yet again for the 4th consecutive week, won by your hometown Tigers?
Hey, that's what they do best, and that's cause turnovers. And this RCC defense has the Mounties looking ahead, I would say.
We'll go ahead and call it a night. We'll send it over to the guys, Chris and Dan, for the post-game wrap-up here. Thank you all for joining us on the National Sports Radio Station on Spreaker.com, guys.
Thank you very much, Nick Rice. A final tonight from Wheelock Stadium in Riverside, California. The home team Tigers, for the 2nd consecutive season, will march on to the Southern California Championship game. Dan Gadino, I'm joined by my name, Chris Sylvester, as you know. Here it is again. The dream matchup we had about a month ago between Mount Sac and Riverside. For Mount Sac, after they lost that game, the Mounties felt, that was it. Luckily, by the skin of their teeth, they get in over Long Beach City College, and they thrash Fullerton College, the defending champs of Southern California, today on the road. Riverside takes care of business, a 14-point win here over Ventura College, but from a non-biased perspective, after watching both teams' efforts today, if Riverside plays like they did tonight and the Mounties play like they did today, I'd definitely give the upper hand to Mount Sac.
And I would too, of course, because of what the special teams was allowing. 2 major kick returns for touchdowns.
Well, really 3 if you add in the other one. He tripped over his own feet, would have been the 3rd.
Seriously. And so you got to give credit to the Mounties and what they did today. And if I'm Mount Sac, I'm holding a grudge, man. I don't like that sour taste that I'm carrying around, losing to RCC here, a game in which you should have won. But RCC took that one, and now here we go. The biggest matchup of the year thus far, Mount Sac, RCC, can't wait.
Boy, we thought we had quite a weekend ahead of us this weekend with the Bosco-Norco game yesterday and the Fullerton-Sac game, the Ventura-Riverside game today. Dan, Long Beach Poly, St. John Bosco, and Riverside Mount Sac next week.
Boy, talk about playoffs at its best. Hard-nosed teams going at it. And I'm talking about RCC and Mount Sac, preferably right now.
Yeah.
Because it's the game that really matters, and it means the most. Because the winner of that one, well, will go on to play the winner of the North for the state title.
Yeah, in the North, Butte, the defending state champions, they went down today to American River 20-17. CCSF, City College of San Francisco, they did their job of taking care of Chabot, so it'll be CCF and American River up north in a game which American River won earlier in the season 13-0. CCSF looking for revenge, and of course the Mounties of Mount San Antonio College looking for revenge. Right back here in the jungle next Saturday night at 6 p.m. You can catch the broadcast right back here on Spreaker.com/National Sports. Dan, although the defense struggled, the offense was certainly a bright spot tonight for Riverside. The first time they scored 51 points since week 1 against Bakersfield. It's been that long. That was back when Kelly Helinski was the starter. Now it's Nicholas King. He gets the player of the game here for the National Bowl in the 14-point win over Ventura College. And you got to be thoroughly impressed at King. 22 of 30 passing for 259 yards and 2 touchdowns. But how about Christopher Anderson? We kind of knocked on the guy at halftime. He really picked it up in the second half in the absence of Denzel Foster battling a leg injury right now. Anderson carried it 29 yards for 29 times for 182 yards and 2 touchdowns and a long of 51 with 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining to cap off the W for the RCC Tigers. You can't say enough about the offense tonight, but the defense, they certainly got to clean it up come next week.
A very quiet 187 yards by Christopher Anderson. Again, in that first quarter and first half, frankly, he wasn't doing much. He was getting yards, 3 to 4 yards a pop, but that was enough because late in the game, we could tell that defensive front of Ventura was just worn out. And afterwards, Christopher Anderson was getting them in bunches, 10-plus yards per game.
Well, it was certainly quite the offensive outburst tonight for the Riverside City College Tigers. They take down Ventura, putting an end to the Pirates season, a season that ends with a 6-5 record. But, you know, looking forward for Ventura, you lose your quarterback in Mark Evans. Jalen Brady, who was the starter at the beginning of the season, probably steps into the starting role. This is a potent offense. Although they're losing a lot of key pieces, this is a ball club that knows how to win. They'll probably be the favorites once again to repeat in the National Northern Conference for Southern California next season. And, I mean, you're never happy after a loss to end your season in the postseason, but if you're Ventura, and you could kind of see their demeanor at the end of the game, they were proud of themselves and how hard they fought against Riverside, really down to the last couple of minutes until the Tigers finally pulled away.
A scrappy team they were coming into this ball game, 6-4, 4 losses. It really doesn't scream out a playoff team, but they were formidable, definitely, for at least a half. I mean, they did what they did on special teams, but Mark Evans did a decent job finding his receivers deep, unlike Nicholas King, who's got a lot of work to do during the week, having to polish down his passing.
It's the end of the road for the Ventura College Pirates. They go down to Riverside City College by a final score tonight of 51-37. For Nick Rice, Dan Gadino, and our entire crew here at the Riverside City College Football Network, it's Riverside 51, Ventura 37. They are winners of the National Bowl here in the year of 2014. They'll take on Mount Sac back here at 6 p.m. next week. And Dan Gadino, your final remarks, I know you can't wait for that one.
Oh, boy, I really cannot. I mean, it's going to be a grudge match. It's going to be super physical, and it's going to remind me of this old-school approach. But we do have an interview down on the field with Nick Rice. Go ahead, Nick.
Thoughts about this win tonight? Now make it 10-1.
Just another win, just another game of the season. We still have a lot more to prepare. We have Mount Sac the following week. So right now we can't let this victory get over our head. We just need to continue to game plan and practice hard for next week.
You took over for Kelly Helinski following the 2-1 beginning. Your thoughts about your progression throughout the year and how you've been able to handle this run so far?
Basically, Kelly's been helping me like the whole way through the whole process. Like, me and him are real good friends. Basically, if I'm down, he helps me up. If he's down, I help him up. We're basically there to support each other's backbone, basically.
What's the preparation next week? It's a win to the state championship.
Basically, we just have to take it like we have every other single game. We can't let the state championship qualifications, let that get over our head. We just need to continue to keep balling.
And you're getting Alejandro Marenco more involved. How has he progressed this year?
Basically, all our receivers are threats. As long as we get them the ball, it's no problem. They're all game players.
I've been thoroughly impressed. How have the Tigers been able to win so consistently?
On all three sides of the field, special teams, offense, and defense. Without those three, we wouldn't be the team. If we take one of those out, we wouldn't be the team that we are right now. But if it wasn't for special teams and defense, we wouldn't be here right now.
How are you guys going to win next week?
I can't say that. We just need to continue to game plan and hope for a victory. I'm not expecting a victory or anything. I'm just trying to take one game at a time.
All right, Nick King, thank you very much, man.
That was Nicholas King.
Apparently you heard it first. Don't expect a Riverside victory.
And I agree.
Okay, I disagree entirely.
Good job right there, Nick.
Thank you very much.
Nick and Nick.
Nick and Nick going at it, huh?
Nick King's going to get at it next week, that's for sure.
Well, that'll wrap it up tonight appropriately. From Wheelock Stadium, for Dan Gadino, Nick Rice, I'm Chris Sylvester. Thanks for tuning in. Riverside and Mount Sac next week in the Southern California Championship, 6 p.m. right here on Spreaker.com's own National Sports. Good night.